halftime at 15. You switch serves at I mean, whoever didn't serve serves at 15. Okay, 1 or 2, Aimee. It's got it. You got 2.
Welcome back to New York at the Athletic Club. My name is Dave Vincent for Super Sunday. As women's fifth place semifinals gets underway, it's Aimee Tuyohey. There's been a schedule change as she goes up against Tracy Davis. Men's ninth place match scheduled for this time. Didn't happen due to a couple injuries. So Stephen Cooney will take 9th place, and Peter Function, who forfeited because of a hamstring issue, will take 10th. I know you're keeping track. Dave Fink stepping into the booth as well to help with this women's rivalry match between Aimee Tuyohey, who starts out of the box, walks in, puts her foot on the line, and then does that methodical serve there.
Side out.
These two played in the 3rd place playoff in Tucson, Dave.
2.
Tracy Davis won that match 25-19. Aimee is in her first 5th place playoff of her women's race career. Started her women's race career with 4 straight semifinal appearances. That was snapped yesterday by Danielle Daskalakis.
Side out.
And that match was not as close as I thought it would be.
Not close at all.
0, serving 2.
Aimee was right back on the court, though, Dave, taking out Jennifer Hinman, 25-5.
1, serving 2.
Sounds like we have a very competent referee in the box. Level 5, I believe.
2, serving 2. Point.
We're all together at 2 here.
3, serving 2.
It's now 3-2, and we're going to 25. You heard the ref say that in the early announcements. Win by 2. 15-point halftime.
Side out. 2, serving 3.
This is not a match that Tracy Davis wants to lose. And you can say the same for Tuyohey. I mean, it's obvious when competitors get on the court they don't want to lose it, but sometimes deep in a tournament like this.
Serve. 2, serving 3.
There could be a you would think there's no incentive, but these women have a rivalry that's been building for a couple years.
2, serving 3.
Well, this has been an extremely exciting women's draw here, Dave. Hillary Rush goes to the semifinals for the first time in her women's race career. Suze Kohler, who's never finished better than 7th, is now into the finals, taking down a couple of big names.
Point.
Dave, I'll tell you
3, serving 3.
Late night off-air match between Suze Kohler and Danielle Daskalakis. Wow. Wow.
4, serving 3.
This place was rocking last night, Dave.
Long. Second serve. Point. Five, serving 3. Side out. 3, serving 5. Side out.
A lot of records,
5,
Dave, being
3.
set today. First happening, Suze Kohler in her first women's race for 8 final.
Point.
Aimee Tuyohey in her first fifth-place playoff. Daniel Cordova in his first race for 8 final.
Serving 3.
Marcos Chavez will, at the minimum, break his own record of oldest player to ever finish in the top 6 of a race event.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, in the race event, I see. Okay.
3, serving 6.
43 years and 10 months he was when he finished 6th in Las Vegas. He will now be assured of at least 6th here today at 44 years and 1 month.
So every month he just adds another month to the record book.
As long as he finishes in the top 6.
Okay. Well, we can fix that on the internet with a couple clicks.
Side out.
That was a bad miss hit there from Tracy Davis. Overhand left.
6, serving 4.
Aimee Tuyohey, Dave, very much like Dermot Nash. 2 really good hands. Doesn't really hit the ball hard. She's got a great sense of where the ball is going. She bulldogged that shot.
Big setup here for Tracy, though, and she goes down and gets it side out. She's a really good athlete.
4, serving 6.
Able to fight off some of the
short
some
ball.
of that power that Tracy Davis has.
Second serve. Screen.
We have a short and a screen now. Aimee not happy with
Second
ref calling
serve,
that screen. But there's no way you couldn't call that a screen. That was almost hit Tracy.
Side out. You're right. It hit the bad bounce off that back wall.
Tracy did not seem to be asking for that.
No, her partner or
4,
opponent
serving
did.
6.
Yeah.
Side out.
That's a great kill shot there from Tuyohey. Formerly
6,
Aimee
serving
Olbert.
4.
You might have heard that name a few times, won the Collegiate National Championships.
Side out. 4, serving 6. Point. Five, serving 6. Point.
All together at 6 here.
6, serving 6. Side out.
When a player mishits the ball off their hand on an
6,
open shot, is
serving
it just that they're not patient enough for the ball to come into the strike zone? They want to hit it too early? Because you see some players do that a lot. And it doesn't really seem to affect the outcome as much because we're talking about champions here that can do it. But remember Paul Brady in the old days, when he ever did make a mistake, it would be from hitting a ball off the bottom of his hand. Is it just a lack of focus? Because how could you say that about a guy like Paul Brady who's so focused?
Yeah, I was curious about those strange errors as well. He felt like Paul made 2 or 3 of those in a game and didn't seem to make sense.
But he still wouldn't give up more than 6 points.
Right.
Tracy's won as many national championships as anybody possibly could. And she has sort of this off the bottom of the hand itis that happens a lot, especially on open shots. And I'm just wondering if it's just something that she's rushing, trying to get the ball to get to her hand quicker than her hand is ready for it, or you can't say that they lose focus because these champions just don't. It's a cool serve. Now Aimee's going all left-handed here, Dave.
Yeah, well, we see her do that. She's like one of these boxers that switches from orthodox to southpaw.
7,
middle of
serving
the match.
7.
But she did a power serve with the left. Her return was
Point.
a flat roll with her left, and then she turns around and lobs with her right.
8, serving 7.
Yeah, I agree with Aimee there. That seemed like a screen.
Tracy Davis 5-2
Point.
this season, currently ranked number 4. Highest women's race freight ranking for Tracy Davis, number 2. That was in
9, serving
2015,
7.
Dave.
Short.
She's winning 53% of her points played this season.
Second serve.
Notable wins against Aimee Tuyohey. Mentioned that match for 3rd place in Tucson, and also defeating Suze in Las Vegas.
That's before coming into this tournament, though, right?
Right. This is just the semis of this 5th place playoff.
Yeah,
Dave.
she has another match coming up.
Yeah.
Side out.
All these ladies were having a nice time last night at the banquet and the post-banquet. Great hospitality by our Killers Club hosts,
7, serving 9.
Tommy Samario and John Duggan.
Foot fault.
A lot of fun. I actually had a great discussion, Dave, with a bunch of pros about the foot fault rule. Very interesting. Wish you could have been a part of it.
Second serve.
Well, I had a very interesting conversation
Screen.
with John as well about you and whether they're going to let you in next time.
I think that'd be a no. So that was probably a pretty short
Conversation lasted 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wouldn't think it would need much more.
Point.
Aimee Tuyohey currently ranked number 3 on the tour, Dave. That is
8,
her
serving
highest
9.
ranking. 4-3 on the season is Aimee, outscoring her opponents at a 51% clip. So very close between these two women. 51% to 53%.
9, serving 9.
So would you say,
Point.
if you were just going to make a guess, that
10, serving 9.
that Suze Kohler is the #1 American player right now,
Point.
based off of recent success, winning the Women's Classic,
11, serving
making
9.
it to the finals here?
I think she's the most in form. Now, as far as the ranking, she's not going to be the #1 women's player in the U.S., but if you're going to go by over the last 2 months, who's got the hot hand,
Point.
I'm going to say Suze.
Timeout number 1.
2 tournament wins in the last month, and now she's in the finals here, taking down 2 of the top American players. So I would say, kind of like if you're going into the Masters, you know.
She's got she's on a roll. So you have
Yeah,
to
it's
say
like,
that she's a favorite.
You'd say Rory McIlroy is a big favorite going into the Masters. He was playing well going in. He wasn't ranked #1 though.
Right.
But he won the big tournament, Arnold Palmer, and looked to be in great form. So a lot of people would tab him as the favorite. Dustin Johnson was the #1 player, but you know he wasn't necessarily in as good a form. So I say Suze is in top form. The rankings are not going to reflect that unless she continues that top form. Because remember, her best finish before this event was 7th. So she's got a lot of ground to make up to get into that top 5 and top 3. It takes a lot of good results to break into that top tier on these tours.
And it's going to be not a big question because maybe you already have it worked out, but just making this appearance in the finals for Suze Kohler, which we will watch a little bit later this morning, she's going to make a pretty substantial leap in the women's rankings, which is going to help her out a lot when it comes to Salt Lake City, you would presume. And very well could see Suze Kohler in back-to-back tournaments where she's in the finals based off of just having a good seed for Salt Lake.
Well, there's quite a bit of math to be done. But Suze has no points on the board from Vegas or Tucson. So
yeah, she
really
lost in an early round. So she picks up at least 8, though.
12, serving 9.
She does pick up 8, but that's likely not even going to put her in the top 6.
Side out.
She's
9,
definitely
serving 12.
wreak havoc on whomever she faces then. those early rounds. You're right, she lost in early rounds there.
Yeah.
Side out.
I think she might have played Courtney Pachote in
12,
Vegas
serving
in an
9.
early round.
Lost to Jenny Schmidt in
Tucson,
and she lost to
got her
Aimee,
back. Yeah.
Aimee Tuyohey
Side out.
in Vegas in a tiebreaker. That was the match I watched, and I said,
9,
Suze is on her
serving
way
12.
up. Even with the loss, I saw something there.
Point.
I liked how she was upset with herself after that match. Not to a point where it was obsessive,
serving
but to
12.
a point where she cared. She cared, and it showed that she had passion. She wasn't there for a walk in the park.
Well, Dave, watching the match last night,
Hinder ball.
unbelievable intensity from both Danielle and Suze.
10, serving 12.
A little bit of frustration there from Aimee, who yells out after running into Tracy, and I think this is going to fire Tracy up a little bit. Tracy bounces the ball really nicely to Aimee, and Aimee stabs it like Barry Bonds catching a fly ball back when he was with Pittsburgh. That snap catch.
11, serving 12.
That's how Tuyohey caught that ball, now sneaks one over to the right side. Actually, that was a pretty good serve.
Sky hook there from Tuyohey.
$11, serving 12.
I like that little punch fist.
Point.
Tracy could have done that underhand paddle. Decided to
12,
try to
serving
pop
12.
it over the top of Tuyohey, and it didn't work. And with as many points as Aimee scoring right now, the score's tied. Now Aimee up by 1. It's kind of surprising because it really seems like she's been dominating here.
13, serving 12. Point.
Aimee's upset that she touched Tracy again. Tracy giving Aimee space
14,
to throw a
serving
fit.
12.
Very interesting what is developing here, Dave.
Yeah, this is
Side out.
the beginning of something bad, I think.
But good.
But still bad. Tracy's
yeah, very
being
bad.
Tracy's
12,
being very
serving
calm about it
14.
right now, but
Right now.
Point.
it is always interesting when a player
13, serving
makes
14.
a perfect shot and they're still upset with their opponent
Screen.
for being in the way, which is what caused that perfect shot to happen.
13, serving 14. Side out. 14, serving 13.
Trying to take the half lead here, Aimee is.
Oof. Tracy rotating into the
Take
play
that over.
there.
Now that was not going to make it, and I think both players know it.
Aimee knows it.
Yeah.
Tracy knows
I
it.
thought it had a remote chance of making
No,
it.
no.
I thought it had a remote chance, Tracy.
That didn't even have a chance to make the short line. Aimee walked right back to receive serve.
14, serving 13.
Definition of remote is far removed.
Contact. We'll take that over. 14, serving 13.
Getting back to what I was saying about hinders and being in the way of another player. You know, they just
Point.
have rules for that.
Halftime.
There's no reason that a player needs to get upset with another player when, you know, from what we've witnessed here, Dave, this isn't anything that's abnormal. Tracy hits the ball,
Wow.
Tracy gets out of the way, but it's not it's not out of the way of Aimee enough, and it becomes, you know, a point where one player is being combative with another player.
But when there's history between the players,
yeah,
it changes.
You know, we're talking years ago, and what I'm saying is there's no reason for a player to be upset with another player. That's why they have rules called hinders, screens, avoidables, and that's up to the referee. And if you're going to be upset, you should really be upset with the ref for not calling those plays, not the other player, because that creates strife.
The player can really create a gray area that makes it almost impossible for the ref to make these calls. And we haven't seen one avoidable call this whole tournament. So you can't just, you know, say the ref's going to police everything. Players have a responsibility to be out of the way.
I agree with that. But we're not talking about a major extreme here where it's been so obvious. We're talking about a bad bounce off the back wall. It kind of eats up your opponent, and then they get in trouble for being in the way. At least that's what I'm seeing here. But nonetheless, it's halftime with Tracy Davis down by a couple points and a nice little comeback there from Aimee Tuyohey. We're at the New York Athletic Club. That's a very fast 4-minute break there.
Yeah. I mean, you must have really been talking for a while. It didn't seem like it.
All I did is walked over to a computer and pushed a button over here off behind you, and then came back and sat down.
Minutes,
that took me 4 minutes.
Time is flying.
Wow. You're right. I do need to work out more. Because, you know, that would be, you know, a 40-minute workout would just be, what, 3 minutes?
Yeah.
See? Good logic.
Aimee Tuyohey, 29 years of age. She'll be 30 this May. Tracy Davis, 41 years of age.
Is she out there?
Seen a lot of big age gaps between these players.
This whole tournament, yeah.
Yeah, 15 years, 11 years, 12 years.
You should see the age gap between the referee and the players at this event.
No.
4 minutes? I just gave him 3. All right.
Actually, 30 seconds.
Tell her 30 seconds.
Aimee's best women's race freight finish, Dave, is 4th. She's done that twice. She will not have a chance to improve on that here in this event. 5th will be her best option.
Resuming play. 13, serving 15. Point.
It's a good serve right there. A little natural hook that fades out to that left side wall.
14, serving
as
15.
Aimee throws the ball back to Tracy there. Yeah, these two are no stranger to the close games. Did you mention how close their scores have been throughout their history? It's unbelievable. They're at 14 to 15 right now tied at 15.
But I'll tell you, Tracy's played more 2-point win or losses than anyone I've ever seen. 25-23s, 26-24s. Every tournament you can count on at least one of Tracy's matches being decided by 2 points. And probably overtime. And Tracy's so good from there. That's an automatic shot. Tracy pushes the ball down the right with power.
15.
Sets up this shot where she goes
short,
just behind herself.
I'm surprised. Aimee almost got her hand on that.
Well, in slow motion, it looks like you could almost get to everything.
Well, I play my actual matches in slow motion.
Yeah.
side out.
Aimee Albert was your
15, serving 16.
collegiate national singles and doubles champion in 2010. Aimee Tuyohey, I should say.
Well, Aimee Albert at the time.
At the time, yeah. Played for Lake Forest College. Teamed up with Maria Dugas in the doubles to slam.
Side out. (16), serving 16.
Oh, I like that shot.
16, serving 16.
This is a women's fifth place semifinal. They still have the fifth place match to play.
Long.
That ball hitting the back wall on the serve.
Second serve. Side out. 16, serving 16.
The other semifinal match is between Shirley Chin and Courtney Bichotte DeMello, and that one's a battle as well. Both women had the chance on a coin flip to go into this court as the show court, and they won the coin flip and decided both did not want to come into this court. They'd rather play on that other side court.
They chose to receive.
Yeah. They both said, we think that'll be a better match. And I thought, well, that's weird.
Side out.
But it looks like this
16,
match here obviously
16.
is exactly what we thought. Over there, it is very close, competitive.
Well, Shirley is a battler, Dave. And I wish we had gotten to see some of her matches on the broadcast because she's a great player to watch.
Well, she's improved.
16, serving 16.
Improved a lot.
Good player.
We're all together at 16 here. You have to win by 2. Tracy's so strong from right there. She just is able to power that ball. Aimee comes in to that red carpet area.
17, serving 16.
It doesn't look like it, but she overplays when she comes up that close. Now she hangs back here. Big setup for Davis.
Point.
Referee calls a quick point, no screen. Another point now for Davis, who is dominating up front. And what Tuyohey's trying to do here is get Tracy out of that front court. Easier said than done.
Serving 16.
But she's going to have to try to do it. Because Davis is now rolling up front, and there's a beautiful left-handed kill shot from Tuyohey, left corner.
Timeout number 2.
Gets the side out, calls the timeout. We're at the New York Athletic Club. Race for 8, stop number 6 out of 7. 7 will be here in less than a month in Salt Lake City, where anybody can play. It's a pretty cool format. The top 8 players will be treated like they always are at these events, where they'll be named here in the next week or 2. And then the qualifiers can come in and knock them out of their 8th position. And I really do foresee that happening this year if the right players show up.
30 seconds.
And that has huge implications. There's a season-ending bonus that's on the line. Now, you won't see a qualifier come in and take away anybody in the top 5, but
okay. Zooming play. 16, serving 18.
You could see 9, 10, 11 possibly jumping into 8. 7 position.
Point. 17, serving 18.
Was there ever a scenario before this tournament started that say that hypothetically if Killian Carroll would have lost the round of 16 and say Sean Lenning won this tournament and Salt Lake City, that Sean could have been considered number 1 if Killian lost Salt Lake City's in the round of 16 as well?
No.
No. So it's his,
yeah,
no matter what happens.
No matter what, Killian had 48 points minimum
18,
for this season.
serving 18.
And there was no way Sean could catch that, even with 2 wins here and early losses by Killian. Killian will end up the season, well, if he wins today, with a guaranteed 50, no matter what happens, which is the highest amount of points you can have.
Tracy just plugging up the middle of that court right there, and there's a miss from her finally as she's up front. Haven't seen many of those.
19, serving 18.
You have a feeling this is going to go to overtime?
Yes. Definitely decided by 2 points. Nice shot.
Point.
She shot that one from the hip, Dave.
20-18 is the score here. It looks like Tracy's going to run off
20,
with it,
18.
and then Aimee gets her out and scores 3 or 4 of her own.
Point.
Wow. Threw her whole body into that. 21.
21, serving 18.
Tracy's going to have to make her move now. Aimee is really feeling it. Goes for another kill.
I like that. Oh.
Slight miss hit there.
I thought she hit a really cool soft shot up there, but it was a
18, serving 21.
ball off her thumb. 18 to 21. That could be a big turning point here. Oof.
No sorries there, Dave. You see sometimes players with the high five, and there was none of that there. I'll say that. I'm not saying that means anything.
You think that ball would have made it?
Yeah.
Thought you'd say that.
Yeah.
18, serving 21.
And I'm not one of those benefit of the doubt types. I know when it's not going to make it. I don't play the remote game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So remote chance.
Point.
Yeah, I don't do that.
19, serving
Although
21.
now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not so sure. That ball is headed towards the left corner with the wrong spin.
Yeah, backspin on it. And Tracy's up here, hitting it overhand down to his shoulder. That ball is going to have to be
21.
Tight to the side wall and front
really
wall.
close to that corner. And it looked like it was about 3 feet back, which would have cut the wrong direction. Now
Point.
Tracy's starting to pick up her game, just like Aimee does when she gets in the server's box.
Half a timeout. You can't leave the court.
No, there's no half timeouts in a
call it?
25-point game.
Okay.
No.
Well,
No.
yes.
There just aren't.
There is now.
No.
Yes.
So this is just, are we playing handball or are we just making up rules as we go? Just going to kind of go with whatever we feel like it. What's next? We're going to play two bounce or, I mean.
Yeah. Can we?
Yeah. Let's get rid of the eye guards and gloves. We don't need those.
All because somebody took a 30-second timeout?
I mean, you're going to break one rule, break them all.
Yeah.
Be consistent.
Okay. Next thing you know, they're going to allow these players to start late.
Time in.
Oh, wait, that did happen.
21, serving 21.
We're all together here. We're going to 25.
Screen.
Agree. Aimee
I don't
won't
think
like
so.
that. Aimee does not like that.
Yeah, I don't see the need for that call.
One screen. Second or first serve.
Oh,
Nice
wow.
shot.
Side out.
That's what you do when you get a screen call against
21,
you that you don't
serving
like.
21.
Watch this replay, Dave. This corner kill is amazing.
It really was.
Whoop. Love that shot. Big setup.
Well, Tracy fed 3 straight off the back wall, and that's right in Aimee's wheelhouse.
22, serves 21. Point.
Now Aimee's just rolling here. No timeout called from Tracy. I think she will call
23,
one
serves 21.
if Aimee scores this next point.
2 straight right-hand back wall kills for
Point.
Aimee,
This
which
is
came on the heels of a right-hand return a serve kill, and now an ace. So
here it is. Match point.
24, serves 21.
Can a player walk into the server's box like that during the call?
Nice match.
And there it is. Tracy Davis loses here against her rival, Aimee Tuyohey, and a little strange handshake there at the end as Aimee exits the court and gets the 5th place semifinal win, and she will now be in the finals of that 5th place match. We're going to take a break here. We will be back in about 10 minutes as I believe Luis Cordova versus Marco Chavez for 5th place is coming up.
that's right.
Okay, well, stick around. We'll have that here on WPHLive.tv.